Oh no, the 30 FPS 2v1 turnaround. Oh, pop shot. Oh, baby. Alright folks, have we got a juicy video today? Today we're going to be taking a look at the age-old debate. The mouse versus the trusty sticks. Which one is better? Which one is worse? Which one's more overpowered? There's a ton of things people say about these things, specifically related to Gears of War. They tell me, you're a PC player, your balance talks are pointless, you play on the computer, you use the juicy NIS electrocapacitive 35 gram actuation force peak keyboard experience. How can I possibly compete with a measly Xbox? So, if you just want to jump to the gameplay, and you just want to see me attempt to play at locked 80 FOV with a controller in a master's lobby, with 30 FPS and 30 Hertz monitor, then you can jump right to the end and you can watch some gameplay and you can judge for yourself if somebody like me that hasn't used a controller in around 10 years can hang in a master's lobby. But before we jump into that, I do want to discuss the pros and cons of the PC and the controller. A few topics to sort of cover. We have FOV, the big one, your field of view, how much you can see. We have input delay. When you press a button, how much delay is there? We have graphics options. Is visibility changed with the more options on PC? We have frame rates. We have player base. And we have generally aiming and sensitivity. Those are sort of the main sort of little pieces people mention when they say, hey, let's not enable crossplay, or hey, let's enable it. And I wanted to have a chat about that. The very first thing we're going to say is, listen boys, I'm trying to make content all year. I'm trying to do as many videos as possible. Each month, I try to get 100 subscribers on Twitch. That allows me to basically make content. It's the time that I set aside to make content, and I hope each month to get 100 subscribers to make it worthwhile. And I try to make the videos as fun and as different for you guys at home. There's a big variety of content, and hopefully that shows, and hopefully that's worth your support. I'd love to see in 2021 that number, we're currently at 33 subscribers. It would be amazing if we could make it to 100 by the end of the month. I know that's a huge ask, but I'm hoping that I've been very generous with my time, and I'm very generous with the amount of videos I've made and the comments I've answered and all of that stuff. I'm hoping I've shown that I'm worthwhile supporting, and I'd love to see some of you join the loyal Zacarios with a Twitch Prime or hitting that join button. Now that the advert's out of the way, the first thing people notice when they come on and they use a controller is that their FOV is wildly different. This is exactly what you can see. You hide behind this block, you can't see to the stairs to the left, and you can't see much to the right. Your FOV, which is your field of view, which is basically the camera behind the character, is zoomed in on your guy. And if you change it to the maximum that's available on the PC, you're going to see a large difference. You're immediately going to go, wow, I can see up the stairs on the left, I can see to the right of me without looking, and your immediate thing is going to be, PC's overpowered, that's disgusting, I never want to play against it. And on first glance, you'd be right. So if I want to check that stairs with a simple, if I just put my controller here, with a simple flick, I've negated all of the advantage that PC has in a single second. Now, you could argue that on PC, you don't have to do that input. You don't have to flick that stick, and you'd be right. So that is an advantage. But through playing on my own and through playing this sort of test with the new account, I have found the FOV to literally have no impact. And I'm being honest with you there. When you see that difference of it zoomed out and zoomed in, for me to sit here and say it has no impact sounds mental. I know it does. But having played it and been a PC player for a long time, and having now played on the FOV of the console, I haven't found it once to hinder my gameplay. You could argue that if you can get brilliant at using 100 FOV, there might be the odd time where somehow when you're fighting, maybe you're fighting and you're looking at this guy, that somehow on the left hand side you catch a glimpse of somebody. And that's where I'll agree there's an advantage. Playing with this FOV, which I have done now for like, I think it's like 3 days straight, I haven't once found myself saying, damn, I'd have killed that guy if I'd have had a higher FOV. However, the game's all about the shotgun and it's all about the gib range. So does the field of view give you an advantage with that? Absolutely not. In fact, I've personally found myself enjoying 80 FOV because I'm that bit closer. I can judge how close I need to be much better than when I'm playing on this 100 FOV, which I'm currently at. The reason is, when you reach 100 FOV, it's so wide that it almost gets fisheyed, and as you wall bounce and as you move around like this with the camera, it almost becomes warped and hard to see where exactly you're going. It really does. Now, you could argue again, maybe if you get good at it, and maybe if you practice enough and get used to it, that you can have a high field of view and still be able to judge the gib range. Yeah, maybe. But then we're getting into a whole different area, aren't we? We are now sort of admitting that it takes time and practice to get used to 100 FOV. And if something takes time and practice, I don't think it's overpowered or an immediate advantage. And I think a lot of people are imagining that they're going to plug in a Xbox Series X, and if they enabled the FOV and they could pull their FOV out, they're all of a sudden imagining that they're going to become gods. And I don't think it's as clear cut as put the FOV up to 100 and you are just always going to be better than the guy playing at 80 FOV. The better player is still going to win, especially in a third person game like this. So for me, the FOV really is a null point, and I haven't found myself once during my playthrough of Road to Masters with the controller and with 80 FOV, finding myself not once saying, oh, I'd have killed that guy if I'd have had 80 FOV, or oh, I'd have killed that guy if I had 100. For me, it's been a complete null point. You can make your mind up at home what you think about that. Next big topic is going to be sensitivity. Now, you can't see this on screen, but I play on 18. This is with the controller. I play on 18, 10, 10, 10, 3, 0. That's 18 look, 10 target, 10 zoom. I play on a slow sensitivity with a controller. I play on 2 sensitivity with a mouse and 800 DPI. I'm not a fast player. So with a controller, I've been hitting some really nice flick snipes. I've been hitting some prediction snipes. I've been lancering people. I honestly, and people can vouch for this on stream, I've been playing almost at the exact same level as with a mouse. Yes, I can turn faster on a mouse. If we want to do a demonstration, this is me playing on 18 sensitivity on a controller, and it goes up to 30. So it's going to be a bit faster than this, but this is kind of your turn speed, right? We can go faster, and the aim acceleration is going to make you get faster and faster and faster. I'll stop spinning so I don't make you feel sick. But this is how you turn, right? This is how I turn, like this. So if I'm having a shotgun fight and I hear somebody behind me, and personally on my sensitivity, I want to turn, that's how long it takes. Okay? Now, if I want to go and grab my mouse over here, if I want to go grab my mouse and I want to go put it on the DPI of blue, which is my ridiculous, stupid setting, I can do a million 360s of swiping my mouse left and right at the speed of light. I can go, he's behind me, flick, 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 like this. But your DPI is fixed. So if I'm playing on this ridiculous flick sensitivity, that means bouncing is going to be harder because a single turn is going to turn my character away from the wall I'm wanting to go to, and it's going to in fact stop me bouncing, and it's not going to be nearly as fluid. You've also got to factor in that when I pick up this gun, my Lancer is going to be much harder to control with the ridiculous... Yeah, look, if I'm over here, I can go boom, I can flick like this. I can flick like this. You can't do this on a controller. And that's an advantage. That's an advantage in CSGO if I can go like this and flick. And one-tap somebody. There isn't really a one-tap gun. The fact you can turn your sensitivity up to 1 million isn't really a big thing in Gears. Most of your damage is going to be dealt up close at point blank range, where the sensitivity is the advantage you gain from having it be rapid is completely cut down. And again, if I then take my Lancer out and want to Lancer these people on maximum sensitivity, it's going to be much, much harder to do so than if I'm playing on a ridiculous sensitivity, isn't it? Getting used to a sensitivity like this and comes down to practice, and it comes down to personal preference. Some people will look at this gameplay and go, I'd love to get as good as that and flick like this. Like I'm lancering over here and then I'm lancering here. I'm lancering here and then I'm lancering the stairs, right? But getting used to a sensitivity that's as fast as that and been good with all weapons at that sensitivity, again, is a huge learning curve. And it's not just as simple and as cut and dry as ridiculous sensitivity wins in all areas, because the ridiculous sensitivity translates to managing your camera when wall bouncing, rifling, sniping, grenading, flashing, all of these things, and just turning the dial up to 1000 and having crazy sensitivity and crazy FOV does look cool, and it does look like a shock factor of, whoa, how can I compete with this guy? But the reality is, I've won Masters games on a controller playing with 10 sensitivity. And if you were to tell somebody that you were stuck at 10 sensitivity on a controller, I'm sure people would freak out. But I would be sat here saying, well, I play on 10 sensitivity anyway, and I'm able to flick snipe people. So it just comes down to practice. If you put me on 30 sensitivity and I played the game for long enough, I'd get used to 30. If you put me on 1 sensitivity, I'd also get used to 1 extreme case, but you get my point. Next, you've got graphic settings, and maybe in a different game, yeah. You know, there might be a setting that enables grass, removes grass, makes people easier to spot. There are no settings that I play with that are making the game better for me than a console. I've got everything on ultra. In fact, in some ways it hinders me because scorches have ambient occlusion. I'm playing on an RTX 3080. I have screen space reflections on, volumetric fog, contact shadows I can turn on. I can turn on all of these things, dynamic shadow quality onto ultra, crank the lens flares up, put depth of field on, put motion blur on, put screen space variable, frame rate shading, async compute, turn everything on that I could possibly think of. But again, you can argue that there are more options on PC and you could find your desired look, but visually, graphics aren't making any difference to me. Now, what the graphics do is they give you more or less frame rate. And frame rate, I will admit, is a benefit on PC. If you play with 162 FPS locked with a G-Sync 165Hz monitor, as myself, it's a beautiful experience. It really is. Everything's butter smooth, but that is coming down to a few things. That is coming down to the monitor I've chose to use, and you can use a low latency monitor yourself on the Xbox. Buy a monitor and play on a 1 millisecond response monitor if you so desire on a console. So I wouldn't really say that's an advantage. Now, if you're playing at 160 frame rate and you're comparing it to 30 FPS, absolutely. When I played on 30 FPS, it was a horrendous experience. I really didn't enjoy it. It gave me a headache. I couldn't even see people's animations because within 30 FPS, by the time he'd bounced, picked up a weapon, zipped about, I couldn't track him. I couldn't follow him. Everything became way more difficult at 30 FPS, absolutely. But consoles are at 60. If I can play Counter-Strike at 60 FPS, or I can play Counter-Strike at 300 FPS, I'm playing it at 300. If I can play Gears of War at 60 FPS, or I can play Gears of War at 160 FPS, honestly, it's really, really, really negligible. And take it from somebody that has a Ryzen 9 5950X, basically the fastest gaming CPU you can buy on Earth at this point, and an RTX 3080, I can crank the frame rate up to like 300 FPS, and I'm noticing no concernable difference compared to 120. And then when I went and played 120 and I capped it to 60, I'm noticing no difference. The way the characters move, the way the guns handle, the way you can't really flick, so you can't really track as well in a game like this. There really is no noticeable difference. And I'm not trying to make this video come across as, oh, this is just a PC player trying to make it seem like it's fair. I'm not. There are definitely some advantages. If I want to pick up the sniper and I want to snipe at long range, it's so much more fluid on a mouse. It's infinitely better. If I want to lancer you down with a mouse, it's infinitely better with a mouse than a controller. But the reason it's infinitely better is because I've had so much practice with a mouse and I've had so little practice with a controller. Also, to factor in, and people are going to get mad at this, like if I want to lancer this guy at the back here, I've got to feather my bloom anyway. I'm playing on a controller now with 10 sensitivity. I can lancer anyone down just as comfortably as I can with a mouse. There might be, again, 1 to 2% difference because I've played years with a mouse and I've played much, much less. But this gun has bloom, okay? So I can't go full auto anyway. And as you can see, I can lock onto this guy. I can not miss a bullet. Like, I haven't missed a bullet yet. If you get good with a controller, you're not going to miss. It just comes down to personal practice, and it comes down to how good you are. And a lot of people are overplaying how broken PC and mouse is and how useless controller is versus it. Also, please bear in mind, and this isn't a hate thing, this is true, on the PC, you have to be perfectly accurate. There's no magnetism. When I'm shotgunning someone on a PC, and I'm going left and right, if I don't land my bullets using a mouse, there's nothing. You're whiffing, it's going through them. If I don't land my bullets with a lancer, it's whiffing, it's going through them. With a controller, there is a large amount of aim assist, and I'm going to be real with you, very noticeable amount of aim assist when switching after playing PC for years and then switching. When I play with a controller and I play with a shotgun, I am frequently noticing shots where I'm ever so slightly too far to the left or too far to the right are magnetizing onto the guy and chunking him. There are some times where I will sort of slap a block like this and bullets will just literally lock on and clip him. And I'm not trying to shit on console. I'm really not. I actually like both platforms very fairly. I'm not an elitist for either side. But I'm just telling you my experience. I have found shotgunning, especially with my style is like, not really flicks. It's more sort of the odd wall bounce like this, the odd wall bounce, and then strafing with the odd hard aim. I found my shotgun play to be actually better on Xbox. I really have. And I've also found my sniping on Xbox, especially like no scopes, to be better. But I've actually found myself to be very, very accurate with the snipe on the Xbox, which is strange. And you can definitely tell that the power weapons have adhesion and magnetism, which means you can ever so slightly miss, and it will sort of snap to their head, and it will help you aim. And that is something I've noticed. I do not get any of that with a mouse. So you could argue that if you get insane at console sniping and then you factor in that little bit of magnetism, it can help you land shots that you might not even possibly should be able to land. And again, that's not me trying to say, oh look, PC's so difficult, Xbox is so easy, ha ha ha, aim assist. No, I'm not saying that. There's definitely advantages to PC long-range sniping. I have struggled at these sort of distances where I'm trying to pick people off and I'm having these like small corner fights like up here. I can't just say edge out of here and look at this tree and flick across. I mean, I play on 10 sensitivity, guys, because that's what I feel comfortable as. What you've got the most practice with and what you're best at, and that can be anything. For me, now that I've played on 80 FOV, I think I will probably stick with 80 FOV. It just seems natural to me playing the game at that FOV. I feel like I'm judging the gib range better. And I honestly find that for my playstyle, I could actually be better with a controller, given enough practice. So the last point really is input delay, and this is something I can't measure because I am playing on a PC. Basically, what Xbox players say is when you press a button, so when I press the A button like this, the time it takes to register a press can be very long. Now, this again could be overblown. It could be a real issue. This is going to come down to the hardware, and I believe it's miles better on the new consoles. And I will agree, if that's the case, that pressing the button takes a long time to register. So I do agree, input delay is a bad thing, and that's obviously coming down to the older consoles. So is that difference enough to tip it over the edge? I think we can agree there definitely is an input delay on console from everyone I've heard. I don't know how dramatic it is. I've spoke to some people and they tell me the input delay is horrendous, it's seconds. And I've also spoke to people that I trust that are like, listen, you can barely even tell it's there. And you can comfortably get used to it. Like, we used to play on 30 hertz, bloody 30 FPS, Gears of War 1 box tellies on American to 1 bar to 2 bar connections. You know, you can get used to it, shall we say. So I'll admit, listen, input delay is never a good thing, but is it worth turning off all crossplay because of input delay? No. And is it worth turning off crossplay because of FOV, because of frame rate? No. I've honestly found that, yes, there are small differences, and maybe all of these small differences add up to ultimately a large percentage. Maybe they add up to 5-6% difference, right? I don't know. But considering I've never used a controller before, and as you can see, I'm hitting, you know, pretty alright shots. I've been on the controller a day, I'm wall bouncing, I'm able to judge my gib range, I'm not finding the FOV to be a hindrance. I think given enough practice, like anything, I'd definitely be able to hold my own. So the boring answer, the boring answer, probably somebody wanted to hear one is better than the other. Honestly, it comes down to what you've practiced on, what you feel most comfortable with, and yes, there is a bit more magnetism on Gears 5 Xbox. And you could argue that if you get up close, you might actually get beat by an Xbox player based not off skill, but purely on aim assist. But you're also on a PC with higher flick sensitivity, better long-range sniping in some instances. So you've got to play to your strengths. So a PC player might Lancer a little bit more, they might sit back. An Xbox player might want to get up close. Vice versa. I'm just throwing some things out there off the cuff. The point is, as you get good at a game and as you practice a game and as you sink time into it, you're going to find a setting, a sensitivity, an FOV that feels comfortable to you and a playstyle that feels comfortable to you. Turning on a PC isn't going to make you a god. If you've never used a mouse and keyboard in your life, you're going to suck. Likewise, if you're a god at PC and you turn on a controller for the very first time in your life, you're not just going to be a god on controller. So there we have it. I think that's an interesting topic. You're going to be seeing a little bit of live footage in the background. This is of a King of the Hill ranked game versus Masters. I will admit, in this gameplay I didn't play the best, and this was the first day me using a controller. Since this footage has been recorded, I've actually improved a fair amount, and I think it would be closer, especially if the FPS was locked to 60. 30 FPS is very difficult to play on, especially that the Xbox does indeed have 60. I just wanted to really limit myself to see just how much of a hindrance it is, and I think if I was to play at 60, I'd have no problem. Hopefully you enjoyed this content. Peace. That was a nice little wobble strafe.
You're not worthy.
We're in trouble here, mate.
Yeah, that's keep crawling.
Whoa, that confused me because that mirror went down and then went down behind me. Maybe you gotta refresh it, Joe. Fuck. I was reading chat. He's running. He's going next. Bro, settle down, mate. Oh my lord. Guy's flying at me like he's got G fuel spilling out of his shoes. It's everywhere, mate. That's not a trade. I just hard aimed to cover where he was going to. Damn. Bro, it's so hard to hit people on this frame rate. Ah. Nice. First kill of the game, mate. We're back. Let's get a foothold on the game.
Get me a weapon that works.
Nice. There's some elements of the controller that seems nice, like it does feel fluid, like, you know? Doesn't feel that bad.
Incoming flash! Enemy mark! You're nothing. Splendid!
You know what's strange, right? My turn rate feels faster on lower frame rates. I guess because there's like less steps to it. That makes sense. Maybe that's why it didn't feel as slow back in the day. Fuck. That guy is everywhere, bro. Zipping everywhere. Arrows. Where's next? Down below. Wow. Well, yeah, obviously. That's like, yeah, it's a stream, isn't it? It's not going to look like a game. Otherwise, you'd need a graphics card to render it. Cat W.
Move, soldier.
Nice, I did it. Nice. I mean, I'm only streaming at 900p, right? So you'll be playing at much higher frame. Why is my button stuck? My A button wasn't doing anything. It's not doing anything. Wow, it's a bloody massacre.
Do you now understand the true world order?
Triple crossed.
Party's not over.
Triple crossed. Oh my lord.
Sniper!
It's pretty funny, man. Like, every kill feels like so satisfying because I just killed that duo.
I'm just getting started.
PC is for geeks. I agree, mate. Oh, damn. See if we can get a headshot here.
Oh, you're dead.
Wow. Trying to scope on that, man. I hit him.
Got something for ya.
Nice.
Target my mark.
Bro, I'm having to concentrate here.
Ground walker. Get down.
Nice. Oh, I thought he was around somewhere. Yeah, definitely, Joe. I mean, I'm playing on a 30 FPS here, capped, you know, and I'm playing on a controller with locked FOV. Like, it's pretty fucking true experience, you know? Nice. A good round there.
Your progress pleases me. Yes, it does.
I've theory crafted a discharge elementalist with millions of damage. Why don't you sell these, Askia? Sell them on Patreon. Put your brain to use, mate. Give them to Noogie.
You're nothing now.
Oh, I didn't hear the grenade.
Enemy mark!
Yeah, but don't the golems give you other stuff like the regen and all of that good stuff? I couldn't even see. No frame rate.
We need you on your feet. I don't think so.
Enemy targeted! Attack!
Getting back aid. 30 FPS, baby. Let's go. Aww. He was too lean. It's only like 12 gig, man. You've not got anything you can delete. Oh, pop shot. Oh, baby. Fuck, that was nice. That was nice. I've hit some pretty nice shots, man. To be honest, I've hit some pretty nice shots considering that is the lowest spec you can go. Controller 30 FPS. You know what I mean? Not bad. Imagine what I was like in my prime. That's what you got. I wasn't like that. I wouldn't have done that. Lol. I'm in trouble there, aren't I?
Target my mark!
Ah.
As you humans say, use it or lose.
Do I play claw? No, I just play like thumb on A, left thumb on the left stick, and just come off the A button when I want to use my right bottom thumbstick. Oh, I didn't see that guy there. Wait for the sniper gun. Oh.
I see the enemy.
Not bad. What is this dude doing, bro? Oh, there was a sniper at the back. Right, I better go help our teammates out here. I don't want to pick that up actually.
Human target.
Incoming smoke! Got something for you!
Fuck, nice. I can't hit shit, mate, sorry. No. Is he not dead? 95.
You piece of shit!
Boom, boom. Snipes come up pretty regularly now. It's not bad. That was nice. I read his up, eh? I had to see that in the future with this frame rate. God, that guy was flying.
Incoming!
Oh, stuck. Oh no, the 30 FPS 2v1 turnaround. No, 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 he didn't do him like that. We both tried the same thing. Oh, unlucky, unlucky. Yeah, they do need to retire after that one, don't they? It's coming up. Oh, he's behind us. Didn't hear him.
The world's a good place.
Talk was up soon. Ah, that was bad play. I thought he was going to slide in, so I pre-aimed it, but he went to the weird angle. Got me. Well played. Damn it. Got sniped from the back. I'm turning it off after this game. Ah, come on. He's got to be so red off that chunk. Yeah, one Twitch Prime equals 1 FPS added to the cap. I just blindly went in there. With 30 FPS, you've got to like predict people, right? They're not predicting. Damn. I think we could have. We let the pressure off her. He blocked my flashbang. Ah, he swapped so fast. He had his torque bow out. forced him away from the hill, and we got the hill for it, but... Damn. We're struggling, boys. Looks like this is going to a round 3. Damn it. Alright, here we go.
You will bend the humans to your will, and you will do it without further delay.
This is it.
I am watching closely.
Yo, SK, man. Cheers for supporting and hanging out, man. Have a good one. Oh, he's gonna get it, isn't he? Alright, I'm gonna go bridge. Oh, come on. Did I not just chunk that guy? Yo, appreciate those bits, Askew. 0% on him, apparently.
Satisfied.
Okay.
So deluded.
Oh, this is bad. Oh, mate. There it is, mate. See, that'll be called bot walking, that. Nope, that's not bot walking, mate.
Glorious.
He's down now. Nice. Let's go next. Let's roll to the next. Nice. Well played, buddy. Alright, let's go help that guy out on the bridge. Oh, actually, we got a lot of points to tick, so I'm going to hang here. Fuck. Oh my god, Stotty. Stotty. Just stood still, like I knew he was gonna just blindly push me. Let's go next. Delivery. Oh, fuck. I saw her, but it's wrong play. I shouldn't have paid that one. Should have held back and poked. That was a good stun, that got 2 of them. Value. That's a value CC. Value CC. Let's get these frags if we can. Yo, it's gonna be a wipe here, boys, by the look of it. It's gonna have to fly in, so I'll throw it there so it makes him back up. Nice. I'll take that. 52. I got more kills than all their team.